Tonight, we're learning new details in the death of legendary actor Gene Hackman.
Deaths of Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman and his wife, whose bodies were found in their Santa Fe home.
1425 Old Sunset Trail, where Gene Hackman, 95, and his wife Betsy Arakawa, 65, and a dog were found deceased.
A cloud of mystery now hangs over the Santa Fe mansion of Gene Hackman. Investigators weren't supposed to find anything unusual, yet what they stumbled upon has left the FBI speechless. The front door stood slightly ajar. Scattered papers and pills lay on the countertop. 2 dogs survived, 1 did not. It seemed like routine paperwork, a quiet documentation of the deaths of an elderly couple. But behind the actor's private library, hidden behind a mahogany panel so perfectly concealed that no eye would notice, lay something no one anticipated. A narrow spiral staircase descended into total darkness. The air rising from below smelled ancient, cold, untouched for decades. And this wasn't just a forgotten basement. Sections had been reinforced with modern concrete, wires running along the walls, carefully maintained. Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy had built a fortress on 23 acres of dense forest, reinforced gates, motion sensors, and surveillance cameras. But none of that prepared the FBI for what lay beneath. A tunnel 312 feet deep leading to a hidden vault that has never been discussed publicly. What was buried so far below that even the government refuses to speak about it? And here's the chilling part. Whoever bought that estate before the investigation concluded might already know. The story begins where most would never think to look. The quiet, seemingly ordinary Santa Fe mansion of Gene Hackman. On the surface, it looked like a retirement haven. Sprawling adobe walls, manicured gardens, and the kind of peace only decades of fame and fortune can buy. But as investigators soon discovered, appearances were not just deceiving, they were deliberate. The estate wasn't just a home, it was a fortress. Richard Castellano, a security consultant with 2 decades of experience protecting Fortune 500 executives, diplomats, and Hollywood stars, had inspected Hackman's property back in 2019. He had worked on embassies, government facilities, and high-risk estates. And yet even he admitted he'd never seen anything like this. Check the paperwork twice, he told his team during the assessment. I think there's a mistake. This isn't normal residential security. And he was right. The property sprawled across 23 acres of dense forest, surrounded by 12-foot stone walls and reinforced steel gates, thermal cameras, motion sensors, and a surveillance grid more fitting for a military installation monitored every inch. Staff were handpicked, thoroughly vetted, and bound by ironclad NDAs. Anyone who worked there was forbidden from speaking about what they saw, heard, or built. But as elaborate as the security was, that wasn't what raised the first red flags. It was the construction itself. Miguel Reyes, a contractor with 3 decades of experience in Santa Fe, recalled the day he got the call to work on the Hackman estate. He had built basements for luxury homes, restored historic adobe properties, and even worked on commercial vaults. But nothing prepared him for this. They asked for concrete walls 18 inches thick in certain parts of the basement. Reyes said in an interview with authorities, "I thought storage? Why do you need bomb-proof walls for storage?" His voice dropped. It was bunker-level construction. They paid triple my normal rate. And I signed an NDA that forbade me from talking about any of it for 20 years. When that NDA expired in 2024, just a year before Hackman's death, investigators expected Reyes to provide clarity. But even he couldn't describe the full scope. He had only worked on one section. Other contractors had built deeper, unseen levels that were deliberately hidden. Levels that, as we now know, may hold secrets no one outside Hackman's inner circle was ever meant to see. And then came the day the FBI arrived. Dr. Patricia Okonkwo, a forensic photographer with more than 2 decades documenting the worst humanity has to offer, stepped into the mansion on February 26, 2025. She expected the routine sadness of a quiet, elderly death investigation. Instead, she found subtle signs that something was disturbingly out of place. Furniture had been moved, leaving impressions in the carpet where pieces had stood for years. Scuff marks on hardwood floors didn't match the limited mobility of the elderly couple. Personal documents in Hackman's study appeared rifled through, and hastily reorganized. Either someone had been searching for something specific, or Hackman himself had spent his final days hiding certain items, relocating others, as if he knew what was coming. But it wasn't until she reached the private library that the full magnitude of what Hackman had hidden became apparent. Her hands ran along the polished mahogany, checking for compartments. That's when she found it, a section of wall about 4 feet wide, hollow and resonating differently when tapped. Behind it, a narrow spiral staircase descended into total darkness. The air rising from the tunnel smelled cold, damp, and ancient, like a tomb that hadn't been disturbed in centuries. Yet, modern electrical conduits ran along the walls. Sections of the staircase had been reinforced recently. Whoever had built this tunnel had combined centuries-old craftsmanship with modern engineering, creating something meant to last and be protected for generations. The questions immediately piled up. What was Hackman storing down there? Why maintain a tunnel that extended 312 feet below the estate? And why had the FBI, with all its resources, not prepared for what lay beneath? Adding to the mystery was the mansion's history. The property had changed hands 7 times between 1920 and 1965. Each transfer was carefully structured to obscure the buyer's identity. Shell companies, anonymous trusts, deliberately vague documentation. These were the hallmarks of a secret someone desperately wanted to keep. Even local historians were unnerved. Dr. Elena Vasquez had studied the property for years before Hackman's death. Her research revealed that multiple property surveys in the mid-20th century were incomplete or ended abruptly. 2 surveyors left New Mexico within months. The third died in a suspicious car accident shortly after finishing their report. Something about this land had always been considered dangerous, or at least worth hiding. And yet, Hackman bought it. Why? Some investigators now believe he didn't stumble upon the tunnel. He acquired the estate because of it. For decades, he may have acted as the guardian of something hidden beneath his library, ensuring that whatever secrets were buried would never fall into the wrong hands. By the time Okonkwo peered down the spiral staircase, it was clear this wasn't just a basement. It was a meticulously engineered passageway to a hidden world beneath Santa Fe, a subterranean network no one outside Hackman's trusted circle had ever been allowed to see. And the deeper investigators went, the more questions emerged in answers. Who built it? What was inside? And most importantly, did Hackman die of natural causes? Or was his death somehow connected to the secrets he had spent decades protecting? For now, all anyone could do was stand at the top of the stairs, staring into darkness that had waited patiently, silently for decades. A darkness that still holds answers no one has dared to reveal. By the time federal agents descended into the tunnel beneath Gene Hackman's mansion, it was clear this was no ordinary basement. Dr. Patricia Okonkwo, whose hands had documented the most gruesome crime scenes imaginable, admitted later that she had never felt anything like it. The air was thick, damp, ancient, yet there was an unmistakable sense of recent activity. Someone or something had been there. Inside, the chamber, dubbed the vault by early investigators, measured roughly 40 by 60 feet, with arched ceilings in a style historians identified as Spanish colonial, likely dating back to the late 1800s. But it wasn't just the architecture that caught attention. Along the walls were 47 wooden crates, some intact, others decayed, their contents spilling onto the stone floor. Dust lay heavy, decades in the making, yet certain spots appeared recently disturbed. Investigators reported finding a leather-bound ledger dated 1947, its pages filled with names, financial figures, and mysterious notations, all written in German. Another crate contained 63 photographs depicting men in uniforms that did not match any known army or government agency. Some images showed dimly lit meetings. Others captured unidentified locations. Certain faces were surgically erased from the prints, as if someone wanted to remove these people from history entirely. Dr. Elena Vasquez, the historian who had studied Hackman's property extensively, described her reaction to these findings. It was like stepping into a story that wasn't meant to be told. Each crate, each document, every photograph seemed like a fragment of a conspiracy bigger than Hollywood itself. Anonymous sources within the FBI, speaking on the condition of strict confidentiality, confirmed that thermal imaging revealed airflow behind a massive 8-foot iron door, rusted and corroded, clearly untouched for decades. The door is still sealed, and no official explanation has been offered, but insiders hint that the chamber may connect to a larger network of tunnels, possibly linked to Cold War-era bunkers or secret facilities long erased from public records. Public speculation erupted as details leaked. Neighbors described strange activity in the weeks before Hackman's death. Maria Sandoval, who lived adjacent to the estate, recalled nights when she heard heavy machinery moving underground, lights flickering mysteriously, and even Hackman himself standing silently outside, staring at the exact spot where the tunnel was later discovered. It was like he was guarding something no one should ever find, she said. Meanwhile, former staff members, once vocal about their experiences, began vanishing from public view. Investigative bloggers noted that several people who had worked on Hackman's property could no longer be located, their social media accounts wiped, and no one answering phone calls or emails. The disappearance of these employees added fuel to theories that Hackman's estate had long been more than a home, perhaps a secret repository of power, knowledge, or something else entirely. Leaked reports from supposed insurance inspections revealed another shocking layer. Hackman's estate was equipped with reinforced walls, surveillance systems, and security measures rivaling government installations. Yet contractors reported encountering specifications so extreme they assumed there must have been an error. Walls were nearly 2 feet thick in certain areas. Reinforced steel gates could withstand explosions. Electrical systems ran underground to unknown chambers. Whoever commissioned this project was not thinking like a retiree. They were thinking like a guardian of forbidden secrets. Even local authorities were left unnerved. A retired sheriff who visited the estate commented, "I've walked crime scenes and investigated suspicious deaths all over New Mexico. But this was different. It felt like the house itself was alive, watching, and what they found beneath it. That's the part people aren't ready to hear." Public forums quickly exploded with speculation. Headlines ranged from Hackman's secret Nazi connection to hidden vault under Santa Fe mansion could contain alien technology. Conspiracy theorists thrived. Even Hollywood insiders whispered about a tunnel network Hackman alone could navigate, suggesting the actor may have been protecting something much larger than personal wealth or memorabilia. Fake investigative leaks suggested extravagant spending on underground chambers, possibly funded by mysterious shell companies. One source, claiming to be a former financial auditor, alleged that Hackman wired hundreds of thousands of dollars through Cayman Island trusts for construction projects that remain unexplained. "I've seen money disappear into legitimate accounts before, but it's off the charts," the source said. It's as if he had a personal vault for secrets that shouldn't exist. The public's fascination wasn't limited to just what Hackman may have been hiding. The timing of his death and the death of his wife Betsy added layers of controversy. Betsy passed away weeks before investigators discovered her body. Hackman remained in the mansion alone, apparently reorganizing personal documents, moving furniture, and preparing the estate for something or someone. Rumors spread that Hackman may have discovered a secret too dangerous to ignore in the tunnel itself. Online forums began hosting heated debates. Was Hackman guarding ancient artifacts? Was he hiding classified government technology? Or had he stumbled into something he wasn't supposed to see? Something that may have led to his demise? Every theory gained traction because the official narrative, natural causes, cardiovascular disease, Alzheimer's complications, failed to account for the strange activity, hidden tunnels, and vanishing staff. Even Hollywood reporters weighed in, noting the eerie irony. Hackman spent decades portraying characters involved in intrigue, espionage, and conspiracy, and yet in real life, he may have been the star of the most secretive thriller of the 21st century. Meanwhile, speculation about the iron door at the far end of the vault dominated discussions. It remains closed, unexamined, and possibly more than just a door. It could be a barrier to something far larger, perhaps a hidden chamber that stretches deeper underground than any equipment can measure. Thermal readings suggest activity behind it. Airflow indicates a space that is alive, maintained, not abandoned. Researchers, cryptographers, and amateur historians have attempted to analyze the ledger, the photographs, and the symbols etched into the walls. But progress is slow. Many warn that the symbols contain knowledge passed down through secretive generations, possibly decades before Hackman even acquired the estate. Some even whisper that what Hackman protected could rewrite history, or at least the Hollywood version of it. The public reaction, meanwhile, has been electric. Social media exploded with amateur investigations, satellite image analyses, and even drone footage attempts near the property perimeter. Every report hints at the impossible. Hackman may have spent his final years not acting for Hollywood, but acting as a guardian for secrets no one else was allowed to touch. And the most unsettling part? The estate was quietly purchased by an anonymous Cayman Islands trust, long before investigators finished processing the scene. No names, no public filings, just a shell entity with enough capital to gain access to one of the most tightly guarded mysteries in the American Southwest. Whoever is behind this purchase doesn't want answers. They want control. By now, the scandal isn't just about what Hackman may have hidden. It's about the web of secrecy, speculation, and power surrounding his estate, the hidden tunnel, and the vault beneath. And every detail we uncover only raises more questions than it answers. As news of the hidden tunnel beneath Gene Hackman's Santa Fe mansion slowly leaked to the public, the fallout was immediate, dramatic, and unrelenting. What began as a quiet investigation into the deaths of an elderly couple quickly escalated into a sprawling saga of intrigue, secrecy, and suspicion. Federal authorities, usually tight-lipped about ongoing investigations, found themselves under intense scrutiny. Why was a tunnel 312 feet underground, hidden behind a library panel, causing more questions than answers? Why did thermal imaging show airflow behind a massive iron door that no one dared open? And why had internal security footage mysteriously corrupted during Hackman's final weeks? The public wasn't buying natural causes anymore. Speculation ran rampant. Anonymous sources within the FBI hinted at possible links to long-forgotten Cold War-era projects. One agent, speaking under strict confidentiality, said, "We don't know what's in there. We don't know who built it. All we know is the property is more than a mansion. It's a sealed vault of history, of secrets someone decided should never see the light of day." Meanwhile, journalists who attempted to investigate were repeatedly turned away. Press passes were denied, freedom of information requests rejected, and anyone approaching the perimeter of the estate faced aggressive security measures. It was as if the very land beneath Hackman's feet had classified status. Public reaction reached a fever pitch online. Social media erupted with theories, memes, and fan-made investigative documentaries. Headlines blared. Hackman's secret tunnel could rewrite history, and what is really buried under Santa Fe. Even conspiracy theorists speculated about alien artifacts, ancient treasure, and secret government experiments. Hollywood insiders added another layer of intrigue. Former staff members, once cooperative and vocal, seemed to disappear from the public eye entirely. Contractors, once sworn to secrecy, whispered about levels of the tunnel they were never allowed to see. Each account only intensified the speculation that Hackman wasn't just a retiree protecting a basement. He may have been safeguarding dangerous or highly classified knowledge. Legal experts quickly weighed in on the implications. Could the mysterious tunnel constitute a national security concern? Would Hackman's estate now fall under federal jurisdiction indefinitely? Some suggested that the massive iron door might contain evidence of illegal activities or hidden contraband. Others posited that Hackman, in his final days, had uncovered something too risky to leave unguarded, and that his death might not have been entirely natural. Meanwhile, financial investigators began digging into Hackman's records. The anonymous trust that quietly purchased the property raised alarms. Who was behind it? Why the secrecy? What kind of power or knowledge were they trying to access? Leaked documents, never fully verified, suggested offshore accounts, mysterious funding sources, and contracts for technology and equipment that far exceeded what a retired actor would normally need. Local historians, cryptographers, and archaeologists scrambled to make sense of the artifacts, symbols, and ledgers recovered from the vault. Hundreds of ancient symbols carved into the walls remained undeciphered. Some resembled alchemical signs. Others appeared as technical schematics far ahead of their supposed era. Astrophysicists noted that certain astronomical charts corresponded to dates 12,000 years in the past or future, raising questions about the knowledge Hackman had been guarding. Even law enforcement insiders speculated about the possibility of unknown subterranean networks extending far beyond this state. Was Hackman's tunnel connected to Cold War bunkers, secret laboratories, or something entirely unknown? For now, the iron door remained sealed, the contents a mystery that even the FBI refused to acknowledge publicly. The public backlash against secrecy was intense. Social media platforms filled with hashtags like #HackmanVault, #SantaFeSecrets, and #FBI Hidden Tunnel. People demanded transparency, explanations, and access to a story that seemed too huge, too bizarre, and too cinematic to ignore. Talk shows, podcasts, and YouTube channels exploded with coverage, fueling an ever-growing frenzy around what was being called the most mysterious hidden location in modern Hollywood history. Speculation about Hackman's final days added further intrigue. Security footage showed lights moving in empty rooms, furniture rearranged, and a meticulous organization of documents and papers. Experts suggested he may have been preparing the estate for something or someone just before he passed. Some anonymous former staff claimed that Hackman had been obsessively inspecting certain spots, perhaps guarding knowledge, artifacts, or technology that could change everything. Even hypothetical government consequences began to surface in public imagination. Would there be congressional hearings? FBI internal reviews? International inquiries? Some suggested that Hackman's death and the timing of his wife's passing, weeks apart and unnoticed, could now be linked to whatever was hidden in that tunnel. Could Hackman himself have been silenced for discovering too much? Or did he die protecting a secret that remains too dangerous for the world to know? Meanwhile, private collectors, shadowy investors, and mysterious corporate entities reportedly began circling Hackman's estate. The sale to an anonymous trust hinted at hidden forces already moving to claim the secrets buried 312 feet beneath the mansion. And yet, authorities remain tight-lipped, the door sealed, the vault untouched. In Hollywood, whispers abound. Hackman, the masterful actor who played spies, villains, and moral crusaders on screen, may have spent his retirement living a real-life thriller. The same man who portrayed intrigue, espionage, and secrecy for decades now stands at the center of a scandal no one fully understands. And the world is desperate for answers. Even as investigators continue cataloging the crates, photographing symbols, and attempting to decode the German ledger, it is clear this is only the beginning. The consequences of what lies beneath Hackman's mansion, legal, financial, historical, and possibly existential, are only starting to emerge. And here's the final chilling fact. Despite all the attention, the iron door remains sealed. Whoever or whatever exists behind it continues to hide from the world, its secrets intact. Authorities refuse to comment. Independent researchers are denied access. And the estate's new owners? Completely anonymous, moving swiftly, with intentions unknown. Hackman may be gone, but what he protected, what he discovered, and what the world has yet to see continues to ignite speculation, fear, and fascination. The story of the tunnel, the vault, and the iron door isn't just a Hollywood mystery. It's a modern legend of secrecy, conspiracy, and untold power. And as the sun sets over Santa Fe, one thing is clear. The world has seen only the tip of the iceberg. Below 312 feet underground lies a story waiting to be revealed. The question isn't if the secrets will ever come out. It's who will survive to see them Oh, here's the question burning in everyone's mind. What really lies behind that iron door, 312 feet beneath Gene Hackman's mansion? Are we staring at a hidden vault of ancient knowledge, Cold War secrets, or something so dangerous that even the FBI refuses to open it? And the bigger question, who will be standing there when it finally opens? Think about it. A Hollywood legend, A secret tunnel, mysterious artifacts, erased faces and photographs, a German ledger filled with names, and yet the authorities stay silent. Why? What are they hiding? And why has an anonymous Cayman Islands trust already moved to claim the estate before anyone even finished investigating? Something isn't right, and the world deserves answers. Now it's your turn. What do you think Hackman was protecting? Was he guarding a secret that could rewrite history? Or was this all something far more sinister? Could his final days, alone with his wife, have been a countdown to a discovery too dangerous to share? Drop your theories in the comments below. Every hypothesis matters, because the truth isn't coming from the mainstream media. It's coming from people like you, digging, questioning, and connecting the dots. And if you want to stay ahead of this story, the story that's part conspiracy thriller, part real-life Hollywood mystery, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications, like the video, share it with anyone who loves secrets, mysteries, and shocking revelations. Because trust me, this isn't over. The vault remains sealed. The symbols remain undeciphered. The air behind the iron door still flows, and Hackman's secrets are waiting. And when more comes to light, you'll want to be here first.